How we doing, Jets fans? We are going to do a second take. Had some technical difficulties the last time around, and I've taken a deep breath. Couldn't be happier. Glenn Naughton, Jet Nation Radio, JetNation.com. Be sure to log into JetNation.com where you can register and become a part of what is the most active Jets message board on the web. Izzy Abanikanda, out of Pitt. Could not be happier with this pick. He's a guy that I'd mentioned several times in the last 24 hours, even as a guy the Jets should target. So listen, why does the Izzy Abanikanda pick make sense? We've heard from a few different sources now that the Jets were targeting Jahmyr Gibbs with pick 15, which was a big surprise to all of us. Now, Izzy Abanikanda is not Jahmyr Gibbs, but he might be the closest thing to Jahmyr Gibbs in this draft class in terms of his explosiveness, his ability to hit the hole and take it to the house from anywhere on the field. There aren't a lot of guys in this class that can do that. He's not a power guy, but he's got good balance, good acceleration, good vision, catches the ball out of the backfield, can be a good blocker. In fact, he's one of the players we did a draft profile on for JetNation.com. If you and listen, check out JetNation.com if you love draft talk. We have a forum dedicated separately to draft talk. And earlier in the year, I put a thread in there about Izzy Abanikanda and said this guy out of Pitt is not getting enough attention. And that happened to be the week. Just a few days later, he had that monster game where he put up 300 and some yards and 5 or 6 touchdowns, whatever it was, and just had himself a huge game. He's a 4-4 guy, sub 4-4, according to some reports, but a guy that you add with Brees, you pair with Brees Hall in that backfield. We don't know when he's going to be. He's expected to be ready when the season starts, but when he'll be Brees Hall again, we don't know. And even if Brees Hall was going to be 100%, there's nothing wrong with having another guy on your offense like Izzy Abanikanda. And now, what does that mean for a guy like Michael Carter for Bam Knight? Listen, I love Michael Carter. He's another guy, does a lot of things well, catches the ball to the backfield. He can block, he can run. However, he just lacks that explosion that Israel Abanikanda has. And I think Joe Douglas, we heard it last year at the draft. It was either when they took Brees Hall or Garrett Wilson. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Brees Hall. But we heard Joe Douglas, give Robert Saleh the man hug and say, playmakers, baby, playmakers. Like, this is what we're going to see under Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas's goal is going to be to add explosive players. We hear them talk about explosives all the time. That's what Izzy Abanikanda brings. So, like I said, he can do it all. He can block for you. He can run. He can get. He's fast enough to get the corner. He's explosive up the middle. Acceleration is off the charts. He has the ability to be a phenomenal player in this offense, given how often Aaron Rodgers likes to utilize his running backs and throw to those guys out of the backfield. Abanikanda can be a threat in that aspect of the game as well. So couldn't be happier with the pick. A+ pick as far as I'm concerned. Carter Warren, his teammate, they taken a few picks earlier. Now Carter Warren, big left tackle out of Pitt, prototypical. He's got the size, he's got the length, excellent footwork, really good in pass pro. Needs a little refinement as a run blocker. Does he have a chance to start this year with Dwayne Brown at left tackle? It's hard to envision him beating out a vet like Brown, who's been around for as long as he has and who's making $11 million. But if the Jets like him, and Brown can either be an expensive backup, or the Jets may get to the point if they feel that Carter Warren's ready to go early on. Brown could be a guy they designate as a cut. Or who they end up parting ways with. He's what do 11 million. And that's, I think, 9 or 10 of that is savings if you cut him. So maybe you get a look at Carter Warren early on. I don't think Dwayne Brown will be cut imminently. That would surprise me. I think they're going to want to get a look at Carter Warren. But before the season starts, when some of those veteran cuts start happening, could Brown be one of them? It's possible. You've got Mekhi Becton, of course, on the other side at right tackle. I think the Jets are happy with the progress he's made. I don't know that Warren's played right tackle. He doesn't look to me. You see the footwork. I think he's good enough to be a left tackle, and that's where you keep him. I don't think the Jets will flip him over, but I think the Jets do have some degree of confidence in Mekhi Becton. And again, all the weight loss, the hard work, it looks like Becton really is turning things around. So 2 picks that there's a lot to like about. Again, Abanikanda, huge pick, big time home run threat. Warren gives you some more depth on that O-line after taking Tippmann yesterday. Tippmann, of course, as I said before, my top guy in the class at center. Just nudges out John Michael Schmitz. But listen, either one's a good pick. They both land in New York as JMS goes to the Giants. So we'll see how that pans out. Between the Jets taking the Tippmann, who some people did have him as the number one. I know I did because, yeah, I'm not sitting here pretending the world is dying to know where I'm ranking players, but guys like Daniel Jeremiah did, and I know that Uh, Brian Baldinger, I think he didn't have, I don't know if he had Tippmann number one, but he had him ahead of John Michael Schmitz. So there are those who thought he was the better player. Either way, all that matters at this point is the Jets thought he was the better player. That's who they went with. So you get Tippmann, he'll fight for the job at center. You get Warren, where he'll compete at left tackle. And then you add Abanikanda, who, again, adds another dimension to this game, to this offense. We saw last year when Breece Hall went down, what it did to the offense, not having that threat, that home run threat in the backfield. Now you get that back. Now you've got two of them once Breece Hall's at full strength. Love the pick. Love what he brings to the offense. And I think Jets fans, if you've not seen him, get on your YouTube, get on your highlights, look up some Pitt games. I'll see if I can pull up a couple here before we go, just so you get a look at what kind of a big time player Abanikanda can be. He had a big run here. This one is against Tennessee. I showed this in the broadcast I did a few minutes ago where we had some technical difficulties. So we'll try to bring that up for you here. So here's Abanikanda up the middle, outruns the defense once he gets to the second level. Nobody's catching him. Somebody just inside the 10 sort of gets a hand on him, but he, again, you see there, keeps his balance, makes it into the end zone. Big time play there from Abanikanda. I'll see what else we have here. Try to give you one or two more. Here, this play, I believe he's gets the ball behind the line of scrimmage on a swing. Nope, that was beyond the line. Sorry. So not a perfect throw, but Abanikanda turns around to locate the ball, keeps spinning, rotates, hauls it in, picks up the first down. Like I said, folks, a threat in every aspect of the game. He can catch, he can run. And listen, I know Michael Carter can do those things too. I get that. Bam Knight can do those things. Not something they featured a lot last year, but it's something he can do. But none of them just have this the acceleration, the balance that Abanikanda has. Here he is against Virginia Tech. This might be the game where he had the 300 plus yards and 6 or 7 touchdowns. But there you see, I mean, looked like he could have been stopped short of the first down. He still manages to pick it up. So couldn't be happier. You should be happy too, Jets fans. More on this later. Myself and Dylan Terman will go live, and we will cover this pick and all of the picks today. The Jets still have a couple remaining. We'll see if there's any more trades, but you got to like the Abanikanda pick. Have a good one, Jets fans.